First and foremost, I am a gamer, but also first and foremost, I am a guy who got scammed recently.
Yeah, it's shameful to admit this, but I actually fell for one of the oldest scams in the book live on stream a few days ago.
So, I take this personally.
So Charlie, aka Moist Critical, aka Penguin Zero, just called my game a scam.
Hindsight being 2020, I recognized that the name Greed of Man was actually a subtle little joke from the developer laughing in the face of everyone who bought the game.
There's a bit of a scam going on, but let's go back a bit. Let's go back a bit. I'm a gamer, like I said, all right, guys? I built my channel on small indie games, Feed and Grow Fish, Amazing Frog. A lot of time goes into these veritable masterpieces that I have spent so much time myself playing. So I'm invested in the gaming space. I love to see game development going far. And I really love to see people who are doing it for the first time actually doing something that they're passionate about. I love watching people create things they love. There is a project or a game that has been going viral on TikTok for a while now that is being called a scam. Guys, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. There's a bunch of small indie developers on TikTok that have been showcasing their projects and getting a bunch of free promotion from it. A lot of these little projects are in early access, alpha states, etc. It's great. They're all works in progress. The people make it very clear. But there were some projects a few years ago on Kickstarter that never came to fruition. And they were touted as these next-gen things that just kind of stop. They were half-baked. They remain unfinished. We came across this idea from a YouTuber known as Big Fry. I myself have seen some of the videos on TikTok of the game, and obviously this whole thing has gained a lot of momentum, so the dominoes fall. Big Fry started the wave, and now there's a bunch of shit all over my feed about this. So the project is called Greed of Man. Hilariously ironic name, and it is by a fellow named Nick User. I don't know if that's how you say their name. I don't really know. I don't care to learn. I'm stupid and can barely speak English. This fellow, Nick, has amassed quite a large following on TikTok, as you can see. Lots and lots of followers. And this feller documents his projects and the progress of his game ideas. His journey has been quite impressive as a young game developer. He's learned everything by himself, going the absolute solo route to make his games into dreams. The only issue is that his dream game seems to change every single year. And Greed of Man was not his first project. The first project that he posted about was called Tomorrow's Past. It's got cars in it, and also you can buy apartments apparently as well. He posted some progress of Tomorrow's Past. By the way, very annoying name. I hate it. Feels like it was come up with in a boardroom. It was conjured up by some suit, but in reality, it was conjured up by a genius. Time went on, he posted some progress from his game Tomorrow's Past, and you can see the model of the car, or the quality of the model of the car, is vastly different in terms of quality from the character model. This is because it's a marketplace asset. Someone else made it, and they just dragged it, bloop, dropped it, bloop, right in the game like that. It's that easy to make a video game. You can steal stuff! You can steal stuff from people! Shush. Frankie hates scams, and she's getting a little irate. The game is multiplayer. It has cars, apartments. People started drawing comparisons to the likes of GTA, Grand Theft Auto, the billion-dollar game, the ultimate just money suck. Someone commented on this video, as many people tend to have questions about these sort of projects, and asked the man, is the full release of this game going to be free? He said, no, I've put hundreds of hours into this and I need to pay for college. He said, how much is it going to cost? And he said, 20. So this is the man's first game. It'll only cost 20 bucks. It's basically a clone of another game that uses free assets from a public marketplace that are made by other people. Kind of weird. Probably shouldn't sell clone asset games. There's a lot of free ones out there. I think that's the standard practice. And you know, all that being said too, I'm not a game developer. I did make multiple extremely popular mods for Minecraft, such as Brewcraft and Natural Selection. What the fuck do I know? Nothing. I'm not an actual game developer. I just copied and pasted code from Eclipse in different fucking jars of mine. It was so... Imagine Top G giving you quests. We got some low quality assets. All right, guys, some examples of low quality assets in this game and some high quality assets. Seems strange. He kept chugging away, posting at this game, Tomorrow's Past. It got a lot of hype, a lot of views. His follower count started improving. I mean, it looks good, guys. But he was still one man, and he had bitten off more than he could chew and announced the cessation of his work on Tomorrow's Past.
I have some unfortunate news regarding the development of my game.
Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Have you ever Googled yourself and discovered that your personal information is just scattered around online? Bruh. It can be shocking and unsettling. Quite frankly, it happens to me all the time. People are always trying to get in my business. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so handsome, probably. Or, on the other hand, maybe you're tired of receiving spam phone calls to the point where you don't even answer the phone anymore. Well, we have a solution for you. Introducing Aura, your ultimate privacy protector. Data brokers make a fortune selling your data to robocallers, spammers, and other goobers who just want to learn more about you. Even information like where you live. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. And get this, these data brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask, but they make it really difficult because they're pieces of shit. Let Aura handle it for you. Aura does so much more than just protect your privacy. It's truly an all-in-one solution for online threats you can't see. Say goodbye to downloading multiple apps for parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, etc. With Aura, you get everything with an affordable price. Go to my link in the description, aura.com/oompa. Click the link, support the channel, please. Please, I'm begging you to get Aura to do all the hard work of keeping you safe online. Peace of mind, guys. When you click my link, you get a free 2-week trial and it supports my channel. So go to the description box down below and get this exclusive offer today. Don't wait any longer. Protect your privacy with Aura. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. He talks about how pretty early on during the development of the game, his vision wasn't exactly clear. He didn't realize what he would actually have to do to get to where he wanted to go. So he had to make a bunch of compromises, like changing it from multiplayer to single player. He had to focus on story, and it would just kind of be like a shitty game that he wasn't super proud of when it came out. He admitted that the game looked great when he used marketplace assets, but over time tried to make his own things, and it looked kind of terrible. I mean, the models do look pretty bad. And at least he's making progress and, owning up to criticism or whatever. So our boy Nick here would take this year of experience and apply it to the next project. That's how you do it. You hone one knife, you fuck it up. You get another knife, you use those skills, you hone it a little better. It takes 20 tries, 1,000 tries to get one big 10 out of 10 from the judges. And by that, I mean people not being extremely critical in the comments on TikTok. So 2 weeks after the end of Tomorrow's Past, he announced his next big idea. He downloaded Google Earth and put it into a game engine and turned it into a strategy game, or that's what he wanted to do. It's just like a global scale war game. Pretty cool. Google Earth moment. It's pretty badass. GeoGuessr. So what's the big fucking deal? Why is this a problem? He's a lone developer working on a game that takes hundreds of hours to create and put together and bring up to par in order to release to the public. He's in high school, soon to be college. I don't know. I think college. What's the problem here? The main issues stem from lost promises and go to asset flips. And basically the internet being a bunch of stubborn assholes and not letting him forget or move away from this, which is probably good. I really don't know. To me, it seems a bit blown out of proportion, but it does get worse. It does get substantially worse. A revelation occurred after one user took it upon themselves to remake the game with their own 2 hands and see how hard it is. And newsflash, just a bunch of asset flipping. Literally just a copy and paste game. And if you don't know what that is, you just take a bunch of free stuff that people made that is not for commercial use or whatever. There's no fair use rules for assets in video games, or on top of free assets, also just cheap stuff, and you put them in the game and then upcharge it to make money off of someone else's stuff. And this usually happens in the Unreal Engine or Unity, something like that. And by the way, this isn't always bad. A bunch of developers do asset flips, and it's not illegal by any means. It's just frowned upon. But this is where it gets worse for this specific situation, because there's a price ranges for the game. It's the charging up front for the game that has caused the problem. The game started off as being free, as said here.
And originally the game was going to be free, but I've ran into a little problem. You see, if the game's free, that allows people to hack a lot more easily. And if I make the game free, there's going to be a whole bunch of microtransactions so that I can make money, and you guys don't want to see that. It would just be like every other free-to-play game.
Which, that's awesome, man. That's cool. You can definitely make an asset flip game for free. Just use free assets, make a free game, build your recognition as a developer, and then just use the tools you're developing and make more stuff yourself and then sell it. Personally, I think it's especially frowned upon in the gaming world because games are sort of like art and not just a product. I mean, if you stole someone's design or something like that, it's just bad in general, as opposed to using someone else's work to like make something slightly better. It's complicated, and it makes sense why people are mad, because it's art. This is when Nick started digging himself into a bit of a hole. The game went from $10 to $20 to finally $30, and people were furious with the lack of transparency and honesty from this developer to the consumers. Here's some cope. Let's check it out. You should make it free, like you said, for months and months. No, I see the argument. He's building up the brand on it being free, and then, you know, just removing the butt plug to reveal a $30 price tag. Bullshit! I have been following the development since it started because it would be a free or cheap game, and now the game costs $30. At least put it on sale. I have to pay for a server. I didn't want an in-game purchase because I think it makes a game feel cheap. A lot of people have pointed out on his Patreon he's making $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month, I feel like for a small scale game, that's definitely going to cover the cost of putting it up on some servers. I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like it's that expensive for a small scale game. This isn't fucking Call of Duty. I mean, let's be real. But, you know, saving for college, I get it, dude, I get it. So how the fuck could this be labeled as a scam? It's quite an accusation that I haven't made yet, I don't think. I'm just investigating. It's quite something to throw at someone that looks as if they're developing a passion project. Well, my friends, it is a common theme in game scams to just string people along. I know about that quite well, guys. I got strung along once. It starts off being this small project. Oh, it's free, whatever, $10. And then it's like, oh, $5 more, we're almost done to development. Oh, $10 more to be able to add cars that fly with wings and they poop. Be able to add $40 more to be able to interact with prostitutes, aka the oldest profession in the world. It's beautiful. That should be added to a game. It's the continual asking of support and lowering the bar that people think constitutes as being misled. I would have to agree, in all honesty. And the excuse of the server cost is a valid one, but saying you're going to charge a set amount based specifically on that is a poor excuse, because Steam offers free peer-to-peer servers, and you can just create Steam dedicated servers with their API that are free for you to run yourself, or, you know, the cost of power, or you can just take that API and attach it to a public hosting form. It doesn't cost $3,000 a month. That's what I'm saying. So this fella's just been getting dragged, basically. But also, you know, there are consequences to misleading people on the internet. It seems like there's consequences to everything. And that's good, I feel like. Not for me, but for everyone else, I think it's good to have consequences. What do you guys think? Then, the man created an entirely new game called World of Fate. You could take territory and get minerals or some shit, I don't fucking know. It was $10, and only a few weeks after his original announcement, he put it on Steam for everyone to purchase. He did update this game for a little bit, but people felt it was not worth the $10 price tag, which, when you're selling a game on TikTok, that makes sense. That's a lot of money for a TikTok user. In my opinion, this game didn't seem terrible. The World of Hurt, or World of Fate. It forgets the names so quickly for some reason. I need things like Mugu Gaipan or Poopy Butt Fart 69,428 million. To me, this game didn't seem like a cash grab. It seemed all right, you know. But this fellow was quick to defend himself, as he always is, which does not appear good in the eyes of the consumer.
So I'm getting a lot of people telling me to lower the price. My game is priced at 10 United States dollars. And to me, this seems like a really reasonable price for my effort, because where I live, the minimum wage is $15 an hour. So this game is worth 45 minutes of your working time in the US. Now, I understand a lot of people can't afford this in other countries where the minimum wage might be lower, and that's completely okay. I get it. You can't afford my game. That's okay, and it's not worth that much to you. That's okay. But I will not be lowering the price from $10. It will stay at 10 United States dollars because that's what I believe is fair for me and everyone else in the US. Plus, I have a lot of expenses for the API that I use for the Globe stuff. They charge me a lot of money too, so I have to pay that off as well. I hope everyone understands and this clears everything up.
He's insinuating that when you do your own thing, you have to pay yourself a wage, which that's just not how running a business works. Most of the time, you work for free, unless you're very successful, which is rare. I feel like this is just a kid that has a bit of misplaced passion. You know, I think it's incredibly impressive, and he probably has a very bright future working for a game dev team, or maybe he can step his way out of this. I don't think that this is that big of a deal. I think the whole scammy nature of just like continuously lying to people and just changing your mind and shit about a product and then just defending yourself is not good character traits. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. Critical made a video on this, by the way, and it's resulted in quite a bit of hate, as you can probably imagine, and it seems like he's started to crack a bit. He lowered the price of The Greed of Man from 30 bucks to 10. Makes sense. Did he deserve all this flack? A little bit by millions of people? Probably not. That's just the nature of the internet and doing something publicly that people don't like. You have the potential for massive consequences. And you're not gonna die. It's just people being idiots online. I personally hope that this fellow Nick doesn't get completely discouraged by the nature of the internet, and when you do something that people don't like, there are massive consequences potentially. I do think that this project is probably completely ruined and will not end up working out, even though he did say he released a vehicle modification system recently. I'm not totally sure. He said he's taking out all the assets now, which is good, and that everything is handmade, which is good. He's making steps in the right direction. This entire thing started off with just so much criticism and then just an inability to take feedback and self-defense, which comes off poorly, and then just whack excuses for why he's changing his mind and charging for a game that should be free. And then boom, Critical makes a video, and now he's got to make the change. It's interesting. I am happy that he still has some supporters, but it is the reality that a bad taste was left in a lot of people's mouths, and that's not going to go away anytime soon. I hope you can use that energy to be a badass and make the best game ever and make us all eat our words. And then I'm sure Critical would gladly play your game, as would I, and promote it. If you can, this isn't the end. Just don't mislead people. Don't mislead people, or you will be called a scammer. Do I think he's a scammer? Probably not. Do I think he's a terrible businessman? Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, it's misplaced passion, and I wish him the best. Do not attack him. Obviously, guys, do not attack him. Wish the best. Don't buy the game. I mean, it's not going to be that good, to be honest. Then again, there are fucking no good games at all, so maybe I should make one.